Welcome back to the homestead, guys. What do we got going on today? It's a beautiful summer Sunday morning, and I want to make a thumb for my 260B backhoe attachment. But before we get started in the fabricating and whatnot, I want to set a couple ground rules on this video, just so that we're kind of on the same page. One, this is not a how-to. This is a can I. I'm not a welder. I'm not a fabricator. I'm just a guy in his carport, in his shed, with some tools, who decided to invite some of his friends along for the journey. I don't claim to be anything. I just want to see if I can do it. Second, I am well aware that Expanded and Deere make a mechanical thumb for this. I'm well aware of that. As a matter of fact, it's actually my safety net. If this thing goes pear-shaped and I can't get it to work, I'll just buy it. But where's the fun in that? Ashley tells me that there's an old crafter saying that says, why would I buy it for 15 when I can make it for 25? While I'm not exactly at that point, a couple things came up when I was looking at the Expanded thumb. The first one, it's $411 delivered to my house in 4 to 9 weeks. They say 4 to 6 weeks, you read some reviews, 9 weeks, whatever. Not the best. Also, I'm reading YouTube comments about the thumb itself, specifically from Expanded. They say it's a little janky. There's some fitment issues. There's some parts issues where the bolts aren't long enough, etc. Listen, if there's going to be jankiness, I'd rather do it just myself. I'll put my own jankiness into this thing. And back to the price point, at $411, it's a lot. I know things that are painted green and yellow are very expensive. That's totally fine. But I've ordered a bunch of stuff from McMaster Car. It looks like I could probably do this for about $100 less. You know, obviously I'm not charging for my own time or anything like that. And I get to have fun doing it. So, you know, $100 is $100. It's a tank of gas these days. Without further ado, enough preamble. Now that we're on the same page of where we're at going forward in this video, let's get started. So I think I've ordered enough things to make the actual thumb itself and the connection here to the dipper stick. What I don't have, so I know that this isn't going to be a one-day video, the telescoping pole to go down. The telescoping square tubing isn't here yet. It still won't be here for like another 4 days. So that gives me enough time to mess around with the actual thumb part, kind of dummy something up, or it might not even be that necessary, but just know that, you know, this is going to have a drop down just like every other mechanical thumb you've seen that won't be here till like Wednesday or Thursday. So these are the materials that I'm going to use. Like I said earlier, it's not exactly rocket surgery what we're doing here. When you look at a thumb, it's really not that complicated. Famous last words. But I went with 1/4 inch AR 400 just because. So I got 3 feet of it here. I also got a pre-cut 6x6 plate, which is going to be like the middle. I don't believe the original pin is going to be good enough or long enough, so I went and got myself a 1 foot section of chrome plated hardened 4140 to make a new pin if necessary, and a couple of grade 8 bolts and nuts and washers. These are, I believe, 7.5 inches. I went with grade 8 because that's the last grade that I completed, so I mean it sounded good. Look where I've gotten in life. So went with some grade 8s here. That's really it. The rest of it's going to be just me in the shed and the carport, cutting and fabbing and welding and gluing and cursing and cutting my fingers and doing all sorts of fun things. I think the first thing I want to start working on is the plate, the length of the AR 400. The first thing I'm going to do is cut the 4-inch AR 500 in half. Let's do this. Grinding is taking forever. It's AR 400. I don't know what I was thinking. I know what I was thinking. Make life easier. So the grinder wheel didn't work, which is fine. I'm sure that has to do with the AR 400 nature of this, but I ended up just using the porta band and going right through it. Right tool for the right job. But now I can make it, now that these are 2 18-inch pieces, it's much more handleable. Handleable is, I don't think, a word, but I could fit this in the abrasive blaster and start cutting and drilling and welding a much more manageable pieces at 18 inches. Let's take a look. This is what I'm thinking. Put some bends in it right in this area right here so that this is flat against here, and then this is even and parallel across here. So what do we got going on here? I've got head and have that sheet. You guys just saw that, or that flat bar. I tacked them together with a weld here and here so that this next part I'm going to drill a hole for the pin in the back. I don't know if this is gonna work. We're gonna try. You know, the good thing, I bought this drill press, and it says it's a bench top, but I don't know for whom. Bench top for who? It's all the way up in the air, so if something fails here, I'm probably gonna get decapitated. Alright, that's better. My arms are being burnt up by pieces of flying, burning hot steel. Sweet. Alright, so we're back on the thumb build. It's been like 3 weeks. I know I was like, oh, it's going to take 6 weeks to get it from BX Expanded or whatever, but oh, there was America's birthday in there was my birthday in there, kids' birthdays, things happen. Also, I got this from Shapiro Steel, the nesting material finally came in. That took like a week and a half to get. I'm not complaining, it's totally fine. It came up, showed, it was exactly what it said it was going to be. Enough jibber jabber, let's keep working on this. So what I'm thinking about doing here is, for the top link, for lack of a better term, running the bolt through the existing ears that are on there, through this piece of support pipe, so like something like this. I'm going to try to notch this. I don't have a tubing notcher, so I'm going to try to notch this. If it doesn't work, I'm really only taking a 1/2 inch off, and I could just cut this off and put it down into the meat. But I don't know how well the hole saw is going to do on an interrupted cut. I have no idea. Let's try though. It's hotter than the fires at Tarnation in here, so if you hear the fan in the background, sorry not sorry. Power deburr. So, can you see? Yeah. So this is what I'm thinking. Trim it, get it between the ears. This might work out better because the top radius of this bushing, if you will reduce the angle between the boom and the dipper, or the dipper and the boom. Either way, this is really close here when it's on the machine. I'll show you when we go and do it. Alright, so we notched the pipe. I kind of faced off the edges here. This is as close as I can get it. 89.9, and it's level. So I'm level this way, and my pipe bushing is level. So I'm ready to, I think I'm ready to tack this on here so that I can hold it up, check for clearance here, and then also down here, cut it to length, because this is way too long. Get the electronic deburring tool. Make sure we don't cut ourselves. It's a little tight, but I guess you want it tight, right? Yeah, because when I'm tightening it, I don't want to squish these ears in. So 4 5/8 was my number. Nailed it on the first shot. Cool. Let's get the down piece. I mean, that looks like it clears. I got enough room. This should be You know what? Let's fire the tractor up. Take any drift out. It's been a while since we moved this. Oh yeah, that clears. Can you guys see that? You guys can see that, right? Oh, that clears. It's not a lot, but it clears enough. Cool. Because I'm a dork, and because I have the toys, I want the length of this downpipe to be relatively near this. So I actually set up the laser. I don't know if you guys could see it, but I could see it clear as day. So I get a proper line. I have it up. Great. You know, my calibrated eye is not so bad. That line... That's kind of where I want it. Hot in these rhinos. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Alright, so we got to punch a hole here. And then we can start messing with the inner tube. I want to punch this hole about 4 inches. Right now it's at 3. I think 4 is a nice number. Who doesn't like 4? I have the same spacers in the back of the vise here, so I know that this hole here that we punched with the hole saw is in line. So I'm going to just slide the piece down. Oh yeah. Let's tap it down into place. Oof. There we go. Zero. Point, one, go! Sweet. Alright, so we switched over to the 5/8 bit. We piloted it with the 1/2 inch because this bit kind of sucks. Keep your fingers crossed. If you have fingers, keep them crossed. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're starting on the down tube. I'm happy with the upper tube. This one I estimate to be about 17 or 18 inches long. How am I estimating this? I'm definitely not reverse engineering it from a picture from the internet. Definitely not. Cool. Nice. Editor John from the future here. So right now we're all done with what I consider part 1. There's like, this video's already gone like 17, 18 minutes or so, so it's time to stop it here before we go on to the next parts. I don't have a following big enough to make people watch a 40-minute video. So now we have the telescoping tubes drilled and completed, welded up, fit into place, they look good. I have like 2 or 3 more hours worth of footage, so there'll be part 2 and maybe a part 3. We'll see how I edit it down. So here are a couple of clips from the future, or the past, that you could look forward to in the future. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Are we in Camerata zone? A little bit. Man, the guys on YouTube make that look so easy, huh?